Hi, welcome to the show Food for Life, and I'm your host Dr. Saxena. And today we'll be talking about a very common thing which I somehow uh, we all miss on this particular thing. I'll be talking. We need to introspect ourselves. We need to understand what is happening here. I'll be focusing on something called toxicity, and the basic things will be. I'm just looking forward from where this thing is starting, from where this thing is starting, and I would like to start something from the home. Is the home sweet home, or is it toxic home? Yes, I need all of you to understand what exactly I'm trying to put across. This is something like a sick building syndrome. You're talking about some uncommon sense and common sense solutions, how you assess your environment, and you have to start from your home. Most home sweet home. You need to start from that particular. When we work on this kind of things called environmental chemical exposures and health, see, there is a constant toxic chemicals products. It keeps on emitted. It is always in the atmosphere, and it is essential for us to keep this toxic chemicals out. There has to be exchange of toxic chemicals inside your environment. Yes, I can always tell you the place where I'm sitting, there is some outgassing. So if my place where I'm sitting here right now is not properly air conditioned and there is no ventilation out here, I will be unnecessarily trying to get into some of the problems. So we would like to give you some kind of solutions also in this particular talk, and how we can go ahead with this environmental pollutants which we unknowingly or knowingly has crept into your system like anything before. We had to fight for our toxins inside your home first. One of the studies which were done, it showed most the indoor pollution is three times larger than the outdoor pollution. It took us a lot of time to understand what we are talking about, and we basically human beings are a product of our environment, and see how the living cells are constantly trying to evolve with certain genetic mutations and all that. And yes, we need to look into why these chemicals are trying to work on something like a mutant gene into the particular thing. Needless to say, when we talk about all these things, we have to, when we talk in the public forum, we need to show you what are the statistics, what are the I mean to say, you need to quote some of the journals of epidemiology and community health to the people, and it has been already proved exposure to polluted environment could be the cause of a child's cancer. This we had been talking about this umbilical cord study of the newborns where there are about 287 chemicals all used in your home environment, and to this 287 chemicals which were found in the umbilical cord of the newborns. Most of it, some of the chemicals we know, some of the chemicals we know about mercury, we know about flame retardants, we know about Teflon. We know this damages But when we look at the other chemicals and what is the effect which this combination of chemicals are producing over the human body or the human fetus is not yet thoroughly evaluated. When aluminium causes some toxicity, when aluminium combines with mercury, this is a totally different ball and game. This is why we believe there are a lot of things which have been happening. We are seeing some lot of congenital anomalies. All things are on the rise. There are some problems which autoimmune problems. There are some chronic health diseases. People having chronic fatigue syndrome, fibromyalgia. These kind of things were never there in the first of 19th century. So it is clearly because of the water, it is because of the air, water, and the food and soil what we eat, exposed to. See, a simple thing about what I can always talk about is yes, we are talking about this thing called environment, and environment is something which is totally uh, causing some kind of problems, and we have reasons to believe when we exercise, we work on this breathing indoors. How can this is something we are doing. See, now we are trying to work or exercise, we are trying to be indoors. You are in the bubble because of some pandemic situation, what it has been gone, and everybody tries to be in the shell as so. Most of the problems, I can list the problems from asthma to allergies to birth defects to cancer, insomnia, lupus, liver damage, you have kidney damage, you have lead poison, you have headaches, you have cough, you have hormone imbalance. All these things can be related to the indoor air pollution what you are facing day in and out. According to the Federal Environmental Protection, most people spend 90% of the time indoors. Mold, which is again a big topic on itself, yeast problems I'm talking. Mold, dew, dust and humidity are some of the culprits of the indoor pollution. And apart from that, there is a chemical diffusion of every toxins. There is a chemical diffusion of law from every product what we have on as our furniture, as our kitchen things. This outgassing keeps on and on. The kind of chemical products which keep outgassing when you have a paints inside your home. Mind you, these paints are not, unless they are still having lead content in that. They are having something of a mercury, they have cadmium, they have bisphenols in that. So we need to keep a constant touch with all these stuffs and know ki yes, these are one of the things which is causing. Come to my favorite thing which I always talk about, something like sick building syndrome. If you have the following symptoms: headaches, eyes, nose and throat irritation, dry cough, dry and itchy skin, dizziness and nausea, difficulty in concentrating and irritability, we should look at the environment before we label or mislabel anyone as this illness as psychosomatic or probably ADD or something like unknown cause. Patient goes through headaches, it goes through eye and ear nose irritation, throat irritation, dry cough, simple stuff, dizziness and nausea, and he feels spacey. He is not at proper this one. He feels spacey. His he has difficulty in concentrating and irritability. I certainly think when you have this kind of symptom, better you need to understand what is sick building syndrome. This sick building syndrome, this was probably we were looking at some of the things, and where I had tried to again, people go through these problems without understanding what is happening. And yes, we need to understand health is not the absence of disease. We need to understand symptoms are not are bad definitely, and should be see, these are the few of the fundamentals which has been laid down. Health is stated as absence of disease, whereas health is not absence of the disease, it is optimum function. We need to redefine what is health. It is not just the absence of disease. We need to look at symptoms, and not should not be always symptoms should not be suppressed. When you get cough, when you get cold, when you get headache, the first thing you try to go is you go to where? Probably it's a migraine or something like that. You just get into some of the things, and you start taking Tylenol, you start taking Calpol. This is something which is this symptom of headache is not because of something deficiency of paracetamol. So I'll just start. I think I started looking into sick building syndrome. Just 4 or 5 cardinal points. Try to look into that, and I'm sure you will understand what I'm talking about. This. We keep on. I was talking about the lead in the paints and all. There's an outgassing of paints, and still this lead has been taken out from the paints for quite a long time now. In 1978, it has been banned from the paint. Lead was banned, but some of the people, if people are not aware about these things, people are not, they don't it probably happens here in the developing countries, where developing countries as well as underdeveloped countries, where all these things have been, the industry dumps all these things on the this one consumers, and if you don't know, you have a choice. If you are not aware, you get lead-free paints also. Then I think you are in a problem. So many things we keep on. Plenty of lead is there, not just in the paints. It is there in your fireworks. It is there in your theme parks. It is there. What exactly this can lead to it? Lead can cause kidney damage. It can cause seizures, coma, as well as death. And we'll go one by one. I'll start with the. I started with the paints, and the second thing I will look into the carpets. There was a doctor called Rosalind Anderson. Anderson raised the red flags of using the indoor carpets. What he did was he exposed the fumes of the carpet to the mice. You know what? The fumes of the carpets worked as a nerve gas. It was as a nerve gas, causing mice to grasp for air, turn blue, lose their balance, and suffer paralysis and lung hemorrhage. Dr. Anderson found the air sample from the room in which the carpet was installed caused the mice to die. This I'm taking a reference from Doris Rapp. Is this your child's word? I sincerely tell, this is a kind of, I'd say, it was a wake-up call. We never knew our carpets would have been causing so much under the carpet. There are so much problems. Look at the floor. Even the carpets, there is a kind of flooring which is being now done. The flooring is vinyl flooring, it is called, and this flooring, you need lot of, they fix the floor, this vinyl kind of stuff, it is being fixed to the ground by using a lot of adhesives and all that, gels and all. And these gels keep outgassing the epoxy resins, they keep outgassing the formaldehyde in a constant way into your indoors. And you know what's going to happen with that. It's a big kind of thing. When I'm comparing this nerve gas comparison, what was studied with the mice, what Dr. Anderson did with the mice, we are all in an experiment. We have been, if we go into the good kind of 5-star hotel and the car, red carpet and all, my God. No, I think we need to really look at this particular stuff and definitely start looking at the carpets and see that if you have any of them in your home, try to see that it's not. Vinyl is bad, not just the vinyl is bad, the adhesive resins, adhesives which is being used to fix the vinyl, that's a real problem. So, the told about paint, told you about the carpets. The third one which comes to my mind is the air fresheners. What is this basically? The air fresheners interfere with your ability to smell by the coatings of a nasal passage with an oil film, or by releasing a nerve deadening agent. Understand this. What is air freshener is doing is not any big thing. It is trying to keep a oil film over the nasal mucosa where there are a lot of olfactory nerve endings are there, or they are trying to produce something like a nerve gas out there so that the sensations will not be pursued by a person. The contents of air fresheners: formaldehyde, you have phenol in that. This single air freshener is enough to ruin your TH1 TH2 balance in your immune system. And what you get with that tilting balance is your immune system is totally is edgy and shaky, and it cannot respond to the things how it should normally respond. Upholstery shampoo, I will talk about something about upholstery shampoo in whatever your sofas, whatever your kind of furniture we place in our home. And if you tend to, here we call somebody from urban company to clean our sofas and all that with the special shampoos what they get. These shampoos, they remove the stain, but at the same time they are highly toxic. They have something called perchloroethylene, which causes cancer to the liver, kidneys and nervous system damage. You have something about ammonium hydroxide, which is a corrosive, extremely irritable to the eyes, skin and respiratory passages. shampoos, cleansers in a big way, and you clean on one particular day on Sunday, and the whole another 15 or maybe another 10 to 15 weeks, you will be this from that sofa, it will be outgassing of chemicals which keep on and on and on, trying to make the environment very unfriendly. It, it results, we are aware of these all things. We are aware of ammonia, how ammonia can cause a problem. We are aware of the bleach, it is how corrosive and how deadly it is. I'll go to some other things. I'll talk about something like a furniture polish. Every Deepavali, we have a festival of lights. It is a kind of custom for us to clean all the gadget, not just gadgets, the furniture. We sometimes started using something called furniture polish. Furniture polish has got something, petroleum distillates. These petroleum distillates are highly inflammable. They can cause skin and lung cancer just by using cleaning with that particular thing. I on my today's this one, I was trying to talk to one of my patients who is around 30 plus. She got some lung cancer, and really the fourth stage. Like she had from lung cancer, things have went into liver, spread into liver, bones, and the brain as well. So I was talking to, I was trying to make them understand what is toxicity and how things and all that. The first question I asked her, and to all the ladies, usually ladies who are housemakers, they are in the home for the most period of time. I keep asking, how clean you keep your kitchen? And usually people coming with the chronic diseases, including cancers, they have the habit of keeping the everything very clean, polished, neat and all that. It's good at one thing, but these people are not using the conventional non-poisonous stuffs. They are using all this wood things, phenol, Lysol, they use some Domex. There are so many things in the market which are really, really causing a problem. And I'm here, I'll be, the way we try to work with our patients, we tell them, yes, you need to shift from that particular stuff slowly to some natural things. we'll be discussing some of the things which in the later in the talk. Furniture polish, the other thing which comes to my mind is drain cleaner. Drain cleaner, most of the drain contains, it contains lye, it contains hydrochloric acid, it contains trichloroethylene. This causes caustic burns in the skin and eye. You don't need the liquid to spill into your eyes. You don't need the liquid to drink that into that. That fumes are enough, you can always get into. Trichloroethylene, my God. Extremely eye and skin irritant. It's a nervous system depressant as well as damages liver and kidneys. We'll talk about some other things. Oven cleaner. Yes. So you use something in oven cleaner, something like sodium hydroxide. It is, first of all, it's toxic, it is alkaline in nature, and it is strong irritant, burns on both skin and eyes. It inhibits reflexes also. And if it is swallowed, it causes a big issue. You get esophageal strictures and all. I think I was in all my talks, I cannot leave something like try antibacterial cleaners, which is contains something like triclosan, this is a product, and I can always repeat this again and again. Its absorption through the skin can be tied to liver damage. It can be tied to your thyroid dysfunction. What is happening is most of the kind of cleaners in the soap, you have something in the mouthwashes, every stuff has got something called triclosan. It's an antibacterial which was a bad chemical and which is causing a problem with your liver as well as thyroid dysfunction. Laundry room products are number other things, and we normally are sure this has some sodium and calcium hypochlorite, and this it's a highly corrosive in nature. It irritates your, burns your skin, and yes, when absorbed through the skin, it can be a liver damaging thing. Toilet bowl cleaners. Toilet bowl cleaners are usually, we use some branded things called Domex, called Harpic. We have got some challenges. We keep using some good stuff, and there was one of the senior most guys, doctor, and he used to tell that you need to use Pepsi, Coke, and all that as a toilet cleaner. Your toilet bowl should be cleaned by these particular agents, and I don't want to get into any controversy, but I know this, whatever we put into that particular thing, and this thing, there will be outgassing of gas chemicals which causes a problem. We will discuss about something about some other deadly household chemicals, which include your car also. I have included it purposely. Car wash and car polish. You have got again petroleum distillates, and these petroleum distillates are associated with skin and lung cancer. You are inside the car, there are upholstery and all that. You try to maintain it so neat and clean. You use polish and all that, and it is absolutely, you're outgassing, that keeps outgassing into the air. And if you're not in a habit to open your windows of the car, you are in for a serious trouble. I'll again like to go back to some of the things which everyone should know about that. These are the kind of things which we use for flea powder, which we use for lice shampoo, and all these things are really a problem. You have something like a tar and bug remover, which again has petroleum distillates, which causes a problem. And I was trying to figure what are the things which can cause some other things. I could pick up my thing on the aromatic candles. These days, because of our festival and all that, we were having a lot of aromatic candles. We thought we will be festive season is one thing which we always never like to miss it. And yes, this thing called aromatic candles has got extremely high levels of lead, which keeps diffusing into the atmosphere, causing a big problem. I think I have told about something about particulate board. Particulate board is usually used in a lot of furnitures, and it contains, for me, once you take a equipment of the particulate board, you are always, it is like it keeps outgassing slowly and permanently. The cause is you have got something like formaldehyde. Formaldehyde symptoms are irritation of the eyes, nose, throat, respiratory system, and you have got lacrimation, you get discharged from the tears, you got cough, you got wheezing, you got see, these are all so many things. These are the things. And apart from that, particulate board has got methylene bisphenyl isocyanate. Again, it gives the same kind of problems with the as with formaldehyde. Pentachlorophenol is also released from this particulate board. What is this happening? You have a toluene too, which keeps coming outgassing with this. What is happening? Uh, the thing, we are using this particulate board matter. You have got a particulate board where you have this kind of you have got this kind of particulate board, and over the top you are putting a kind of sheet of decorum, and you have got this particular matter. And for decorum and this board to fix, you need a big adhesives and all these things. Because of that high adhesives in that, all epoxy resins and all that, this keeps on outgassing. I know this sounds very very technical, but all I think everyone should be aware of this particular thing. We just can't go around telling that okay, I have got. You can't just boast about things. I got this problem, I got that problem. These are all the things which everyone is getting into a big disaster. And apart from the, now I will move from that carpets, from the furniture. I will try to move into the kitchen. And in the kitchen, the first thing which I try to look into, maybe I keep talking about this, is that Teflon coated utensils, which is called non-stick cooking pans. You make a good dosa without oil. You make a good with oil is less used in this particular thing. In this part of the world, particularly the industry, I mean to say, there is a kind of, they try to, you buy one, you get one free, this cookware, all Teflon coated and all that. There's a big rush when we go into the supermarket, and people just love to take that particular stuffs. I'll tell you simple things. The Teflon is nothing but perfluorooctanoic acid. And it is a mystery how this perfluorooctanoic acid is there in the blood of every individual. You are just cooking on that particular thing. How it has reached that particular thing. See, people have worked on this particular thing, and they had shown in the US Environmental Protection Agency has determined PFAO is cancer causing agent in. You heat that non-stick pan where to high temperatures, there is a disintegration which happens, which is not seen by your eyes. There is a release of these PFAOs and all that. And if you are in a kitchen trying to use that with the high temperatures and all that, surely you will start getting that kind of things. Sometimes we have picked up Teflon cooking, Teflon flu it's called. This is particular flu is because a person gets sick with a temporary flu if the pan is heated for a prolonged time. You will have headaches, you have chills, you have got backache, you have got temperatures between 100 and 4, and you know what is to, in this pandemic situation, what is to be like having a flu-like situation. Just by that overheating of the pans, you are getting into a problem. Yes, it is quite, there are things I can go on and on. There are other products also I can always talk about that. What is to be done? The thing is, it is not just, it is there in the kitchen, it is there in the bathroom, it is there in the drain cleaner, it is there in the toilet bowl cleaner, You have got tile floors, vinyl floors, you have got insecticides, you have air fresheners, you have incense. This is one thing I missed out. People do that agarbatti pujas and all that. Yes, incense. People tend to use a lot of deos. People tend to use a lot of antiperspirants. Apart from that, we have something in the toothpaste, we have something in the glass cleaners, we have got something like ammonia, bleach, we have got antibacterial cleaners. I told about triclosan and all. Lice shampoo, flea shampoo, you have got pet shampoo. I have dogs, I know how to maintain that particular stuff. But again, we need to be extra cautious while all working on all these things. Again, I must tell you, this kind of looking into something which is certainly not a, I can say it is, we have never read in these books, we have never gone into this particular thing. We understand we need to impart the knowledge whatever we have gained over a period of time. When I started working on this environmental illness, I'd have some simple suggestions. People can always make a note of some things, or I can always. These are the few things which we use for trying to create a kind of thing. We try to work on some of the logistics. We use something. We tell people to take earthy clays and try to use that in making toothpaste, and when they are using the replace that Teflon with the clay pots and all that. Substitute your salt, try to use a rock salt or in a big way. Any talcum powder, I didn't tell about talcum powder. Talcum powder was one of the, we all of us now know talcum powder is a known carcinogen. The people who had used talcum powder for a prolonged time, they got into something called ovarian cancer, and there is big lawsuits against Johnson and Johnson about this talcum powder. A simple thing which we can shift cornstarch or a arrowroot powder, you can use it, substitute for a talcum powder. Baking soda replaces any kind of talc based products. Baking soda can be used for scrubbing the kitchen counter, cooking pans or bathrooms. Baking soda is an amazing thing. You have got some things which, as some reason, I feel that everyone should start looking to combine this particular stuff and start using for not use that things which really cause a problem. In the sense, try to use mostly chemical products should be avoided at any cost. You try to in your home, try to get a spray water bottle, try to take care of a lot of baking soda, you get a lot of rock salt, you take something like vegetable glycerin. You can always with some bentonite clay or something like beeswax or some vegetable glycerin. I have already told you. If all these products you have got, you can always make your own products for kitchen cleansing. You can make your own toothpaste, or no need to get these synthetic chemicals into your body. What you need is some kind of lavender, cedarwood oil. You get all these stuffs, and definitely replace. Start looking into this particular thing. If you can always use lot of aromatic essential oils, and these aromatic essential oils will be a very good solution for these problems. For drain cleaners, we use something like 3-4 tablespoons of baking powder into the drain and add white vinegar and once erupted, you quickly drain with the warm water. No need for that harmful chemical things what causes your eyes to burn, what causes your lungs sore throat and all that. So try doing simple stuffs which can be quite easier. uh, Start looking into things. You go into the bathroom and start looking at what, how can you replace that, uh, whatever things are there into that. And yes, I mean to say you need to start with that baking powder again. um Looking at some simple things, start using the loafers. And when you use, I don't tell, I'm not against soaps and all that. Only thing is we are against that particular thing which has, soaps has got some lot of antibacterial thing which is called triclosan. So it is better to have your home based soaps, or you can always buy over the counter organic simple things which doesn't cause you any, which doesn't really hurt you. You can mop the floors and all that with essential oils. You need not add phenyl or Lysol on that. uh, Tile cleaners can be easy thing. What about something about mold and dews? You have lot of houses where I started talking about something, that particular word I took, which is called a sick building syndrome. Sick building syndrome is again a big issue. And when we talk about sick building syndrome, and if I don't talk about mold and how to clear that mold, is a very important thing. You have got all the AC vents and all in the room vents. You need to apply some thyme, simple thyme, eucalyptus or lavender aromatic oils for some 20-30 drops, and fill in the water and try to spray. That will help in a big way. And there are yes, if I don't tell something about insect repellers, I always keep telling about this particular stuff. And there is a thing called hit or mosquito hit, or we try to use for mosquito repellent as well as cockroaches and all that. We are not very friendly with the insects, and I don't want you people to attract. Thing is, this is my simple suggestion. What happens is that there is something like malathion. There are a lot of poisonous chemicals which are there embedded into your hit spray, or you use for your cockroach and all that. And if you are using it as a, you're not using as drops, you are using as a few, it's a basically you are using it as a air spray. What happens is that once you put this air spray into the open air and all that, it's not visible, and everything see, um, uh, some of that hardly something goes to that mosquito or cockroach, and the rest 90% we keep intaking that. It is a fact. And all this particular if something like a hit or kind of stuff which has got something like malathion and so many stuff, you have got these chemicals are purely and purely mitochondrial poisons. And this mitochondrial poisons, and if if things goes into your system, and over a period of time you are into a big disaster. So try to look at something called, what I call it as a impending disasters in the you need to, yes, impending disaster starts from your kitchen, it starts from your bathroom, it starts from your drawing room, it starts from your furniture. You need to be careful with the habitat. Try using some simple stuffs. Use lemongrass, citronella. You can use lemon, cypress, cedarwood, atlas. These are the things which can be sprayed, and it doesn't cause any problem to the human beings. This is the essence thing. And talking about other stuffs. I certainly believe this is the way which has to be started. We are careful with our pets also, not just human beings. We are very clear what we are putting across to the pets. I don't use that kind of shampoo which has got this is something we try to use something like citronella, lavender, and with that you're kind of the our dogs doesn't have fleas and all that, and the odor also is sprays. We don't there is no much odor and all, and yes, this what is required is just spray to the dog, and this particular liquid you can make it very simply. Add water, add citronella, add something like lavender, and your thing is ready. Instead of wood polish, we would like you to look into some other things which can be natural things, and you can use something in a base of canola oil. You can use something like patchouli, cedarwood atlas, and you can use something like rosewood, and apply with that. And in the cabinets and the things also, closets, try not keeping that mothballs. Instead, try using something like rock salt and cedarwood, simple stuffs. That will also help. It will not allow any insects and all that to get into the clothes and all. Yes, I would personally try to recommend everyone to use that thing called glycerin soap, which is our one of the favorite stuffs. We keep telling everyone to use that glycerin soap, and skincare also you can always use combination of things. This is such a simple thing. Maybe I think not for it never looked to me so simple because fetching from the supermarket some ready-made stuff are most easy, but the same thing trying to create is initially it takes some time, and I'm sure once you get into that you can always try to use that personal care things. You try to use your deodorant. You can make your deodorant by lavender. You can make with patchouli as well as simple. Use milk of magnesia. Milk of magnesia. That's it. Nothing. You don't require any other antiperspirant. It makes a big. It's itself. Milk of magnesia is a big deodorant. Toothpaste, you can always look into it. It's a simple way. All YouTube and all that will have how to make and all that. I'll not go into that details, but somewhere I think we need to look at this all these things and take this as with a pinch of salt, and start applying some things so that we can always start keeping your personal insecticide and keep that bottle of thing ready, instead of that what we call as hit or something. What you need is very few things. You need some warm water, you need some patchouli, and you need some cedarwood or use lavender or something like that. And you need some orange peels also. Orange in the sense you get that all these are aromatic oils. Whatever I'm talking about, cedarwood, lavender, orange, these are all in the form of oils. We need to add in water and work it out. So friends, start with the chemically reduced day, and every day we go to we are exposed with innumerable things. So when we try to keep your home as a, we call it as a temple, try to see that follow some simple practices. We Indians have got a great this one. Footwear, where we were taught how to leave your footwear outside the house and then enter into home. And I think that is one of the best particular things which was being ever taught, because as integrative physicians, as kind of work which we are trying to work on various things called cancer and cardiology and all chronic diseases, Just by doing that simple, leaving the footwear outside your home and entering your home, and in the, if you are grounded, if you are barefooted, if you are grounded in the home at least, it makes a big difference. And yes, I can always talk about it for another session, but I am very sure we need to follow some of the things which we were our grandmothers taught us. And yes, this is I think it went this is you need to always have a thing, you need to start walking, you need to look into some things, and you need simple ways. I can, whatever things I have told you, this can be used for a lot of things if you keep this all things in the home. Like I can tell you about lavender, which can apply to the insect bites or cuts or bruises, and mucilax also. Lavender oil is very useful. You have got orange oil, which is sweet, which can be diffused in the air conditioned, and it's for relaxation is amazing. Eucalyptus, you know, somehow eucalyptus is for good for all your muscle pains. You have all in cold seasons you can use this eucalyptus. Lot of things you have got this particular things you can use it for, and and start doing some things. Don't keep your home closed for a prolonged period of time. Open the doors and the windows at least once in a day. Not even if you are not able to do it, do at least once in a week. There, let there be an internal circulation which happens. Try doing try to use something like circulation. See, lot of non-toxic approaches to healthcare we have got this particular things. Start using that particular stuff, and I am very sure it will make your life more simple, and it will be a, and we can always work like going into this one. See, if I was not aware कि by there can be something, indoor pollution also can cause so much problem. Indoor pollution also can cause much problem. Thanks a lot. Thank you.